Welcome everyone. Today we have a new Dota autochess game, and this one is gonna be one of the strongest late game Void build. Now, why Void build, you might be asking? Because Void build, a very unique build, it is immune to all debuffs and also controls. In the late game, if you want to win the game, usually there's a lot of stun with Tidehunter, Disruptor Silence, everything that can disable your opponent, but the Void is immune to this. Now there is a drawback, you can only use the Void synergy, but nothing else. If you have demons, if you have humans, Nagas, anything that's activated, Void synergy will not be activated. So before we dive too much into the Void synergy, which comes in the mid game once we have the units ready, in the early game, what are you looking for the Void? Is gonna be Priest or maybe a win streak. So I always say it's much easier to get a losing streak than a winning streak. And what I like to do with most of the economical build is I like to start a losing streak. You tend to build more economy, and this is a perfect demonstration of how do you want to start a very greedy losing streak. Similar method can be used for any of the late game build that wants to go to level 8, level 9. This can be elves, this can be mages, this can be, a lot of great things, and you can see our aqua builds. So I picked up the Void, Faceless Void, that is. So Faceless Void is essential for the Void build, but you don't have to have Faceless Void right away. I was actually more happy to find 2 of my Priest. So after finding 2 of my Priest for round 3, in order to be ultra greedy, I have decided to even sell my Void, because this way it pushes me to 4 gold. Very start, you can make additional 1 gold just because of the interest. On round 3, you'll be able to get 6 gold. And together with the 4 gold I have sold, I just keep the value of 5 gold on the field. And this means when the actual round ends, I will be sitting on 10 gold. A lot of players don't know about this, and this is how you can see there's only one player doing something similar to me. This is how you can build super early economy. Because I already have my synergies, I just need the Priest to be on a losing streak. I don't need to try to win. Of course, I kept the 2 masses just in case I find a mass, but I didn't. So in the 4th round, you can try to win because winning gives you 1 gold, but nothing too major. So in terms of item choices, our Void team needs something defensive because we don't have defensive synergies. If I can find the Vanguard, if I can find something that is offensive, that is also good. And you can see I couldn't find anything great, but it's not a big deal. Because most of the Void build, we tend to get tier 3 and also tier 4 items. So in the early game, I'm not too fussed about items. I already started my losing streak, and this is a perfect start. Notice I didn't even bother with my masses. So losing streak is quite simple. You can drag your mango down to the inventory and then have it coming back, so you don't have to eat the tree. You can use the tree automatically just pressing the mango. Now it is recommended to not eat the mango right away. Not only you can store 1 to 7 health, there's some hidden mechanics with mangoes which I want to teach you guys in the later stage of the game. Because if you have too high of a HP and Zeus strikes you, you lose your proportion of maximum of current HP. And there's also ways of getting halved with your HP when you go beyond level 45 with the rounds, which is much later if we ever come to that. So nothing too special at this moment. You can see that my biggest goal is to sell all my units to make to the next 19 gold. Now you might be saying, hey Matt, this is just a minor detail, but if you want to play an ultra greedy endgame build, you want to save every bit of gold. And my early game economy allows me to get 19 gold on round 5, which is very important. So we're gonna skip a little bit forward. Here I'm looking for units to ban for my Void synergy. Usually for the Void build, I'm looking for all the purple units, all the legendaries that can be great, that also does not build into a synergy. If I pick Chen as an Orc, then I can't pick anything else as Orc. If I pick 2 humans, I can't have the 3rd human. I can't have any synergies but the Void synergy. And I can only pick 2 assassins, not 3 assassins. And yes, we'll definitely have the demons on the board because Doombringer is very powerful for the Void. But in order to have the demons, we need to have 2 different demons, so it breaks the demon synergy. Now we're going to fast forward a little bit just to show you guys how I economize. Nothing too special. On round 7, 30 gold, and then round 8, we sell enough to 39 gold. After losing, we'll be getting 40 gold. So that is the early game. Quite straightforward, and I already have a perfect start. The next thing I'm looking for is to look for 3 humans, which will give me more experience every round because I have the goal to be leveling up, and I'm also looking for the right relic. So let's skip forward a little bit, and yes, I'm looking around to see potential opponent that can be strong, including this player who found the Storm Spirit. I'll teach you guys how to fish for the pandas very soon. So as I lose, I'll keep losing, and I don't mind. I'm going to keep all my mangoes and build up my economy. Around 10, you do want to have some units that can defeat the enemy, and having a bit of the trolls really helps over here. So I happen to have 4 trolls, which means we pretty much win instantly. I also pre-level to level 6 with my great economy. So nothing too fancy. What we're looking for is a relic. I really want a relic that enhances my economy. And the best relic, of course, for the losing streak and also for the high level build is gonna be the Malefic Rapture. You might have seen in a previous video I talk about this item combines perfectly with losing streak, with priest, and also if you want to go to high level. Our build wants us to be level 9 at least to be rolling. Because you're rolling for purple and also legendary units, I don't plan to use anything that is tier 3 unit. I want anything that is purple, like the Brute Mother, like the Medusa, like the Anti-Mage, like the Doom. Of course, during this time, I'll be getting my units up. I also have a Bounty Hunter, so if Bounty Hunter kills something, we'll get 1 extra gold. But it's very rare. Let's have a look if we get lucky with Bounty Hunter. So, anything that build up my economy is very good. Look at that, got 1 extra coin, right? So after that, the Bounty Hunter's job is done. He can only get 1 gold for tier 1, and then 2 gold for 2-star Bounty Hunter, 3 gold for 2-star Bounty Hunter, but I don't think I'm getting 3-star Bounty Hunter. And you can see, not only I'm building my economy, I'm also keeping potential units, including humans and also purple units. And yes, I do want to lose a lot, so I gain more experience. Fast forward a little bit. Nothing too special, and I have been collecting my purple units and also my humans. Now I do want to lose a lot. The more I lose, I also have mangoes, and also I'm leveling up super fast because of this. Now for the case you don't get this good of a start, if you don't find the priest, if you don't find the humans, you don't find the Malefic Rapture, the relic, it can be a little harder to reach level 9 as quickly as I do. You can still do it, but this will be a little tricky, so keep that in mind. This is a demonstration of a perfect economy start with priest. And of course, finding the humans means now I'm gaining 2 experience every round, and that really helps. So we're gonna get the priest down, gonna get the humans down, arrange my units a bit. I don't mind losing less now, but I don't mind losing massively as well. So you can see, I'm still losing, gaining my experience, and going to level 8 as quickly as I can. Around 15, you do want to position your units correctly, and I like to position my units on a corner. Similar positioning against the assassins, which I'll teach you guys very soon about this. So you can see, when the wolf jumps, your inner units are protected while the front lines tend to stay for a second and then tank up for you. Of course, my units are assassins, so they kind of jumped away. Nothing too fancy. And here in terms of item selection, we want anything that's defensive. This mana hood is, this 50% mana resistance hood is great. I'm also looking at enemy units to see what will I be fighting. You can see we'll be fighting assassins, hunters, maybe a bit of aqua, maybe a bit of the elemental, so something I should be aware of. Now, because my team is going to be void, I want survivability. I want armor, I want magic resist, I want lifesteal, I also want anything that is defensive. We're pretty offensive and we can't be controlled. So if we have anything that's defensive for the late game, that'll be great. We also want purple items. Around this time, I decide after round 15, we don't have to go like empty board because I still want to preserve a bit of health. And yes, I still have a lot of health and also mangoes or tangos, but I don't want to waste my tangos simply because this will be much needed in the late game and make the difference. I kind of want to preserve health, and just so when I was preserving the health, I actually started to win. That's not what I wanted, because winning isn't great because I gain so much for losing. I gain bonus experience, I also gain tangos, I also gain bonus gold for losing. So I'm hoping I actually lose. Now, you can see, whenever it loses, even when the enemy summons out, I'm actually pretty happy. So here, massive boost of experience, and also I start to use my tango. I don't like to go below 25% HP. Ideally, most builds can't do over 25 damage, but there are some builds that can do over 26 damage. So do be a little careful of that. And as you see, I slowly leveling and I start to keep purple units. And of course, during this time, I still kept all the synergies, and I have not found a Faceless Void. We do need a Faceless Void to make the build work, which, yes, the build is super mid to late game, to the point that in early games, I'm just trying to survive with humans, with priest, and with whatever purple units I find. So this is my weak phase. But you'll see very soon, something good will happen. I mean, we'll transition slowly. And I'm almost level 9. So I purposely put down less units, try to lose, but it just happens the enemy is even weaker. So we did not get the most benefit, and I'll slowly level to level 9. Once I'm level 9, I also have to determine whether I want to ban some units. Banning units will help me greatly to enhance my chance of finding the purple units I wanted. Notice that during this time, I have acquired a number of units, including the Monkey King, and also over here we have Templar Assassin, we have Broodmother, Anti-Mage, a lot of good units. I took away the Priest, and also I have 3 humans on the board, so I can be a little more greedy, pushing towards level 10. Now you might have noticed I keep typing C over here. This is to clear the text previously. Otherwise the text will be too messy on the board, and you can type anything, I just like to type C. And for round 20, over here, in terms of relics, we can get item that helps you with the Smith's Forge to get a better neutral item, but most of the other items I can't really use it as well. And yeah, we'll go with Stolen Vault, always a good default. And here I got 16 gold. Any bit of gold is great from, economy. And if you're not sure which relic you want, better than rendering, you just get your Stolen Vault for more economy. So I start to pick some demons. Why am I picking demons? And okay, I start to find some better demons. So I want 2 different demons and then avoid void. So if I can find 2 different demons, then this will disable the demon synergy. And this also means that I can use my void synergy with 2 different demons. And here, yes, I decided to sell my humans simply because the board is too full. And this is just the transitional phase. You can see that I have not been ready on round 21, simply because, as you can see, I have not found Faceless Void. So I kept the warriors, I kept the savages under the beast, and we should be okay. Now, the bigger question is, what are the purple units you're looking for? So let me try to list it down. And of course, you can see me falling for the Faceless Void. If I don't find this Faceless Void, the game will be very hard. So yes, we found the Faceless Void, now I can build into my build. And even without the Faceless Void, having all the purple units to 1 to 2 star is already very powerful in the early game, especially with legendaries. So let's have a look. I know I spent about 10 minutes explaining the build before it's ready, but it's important to know the starting up, because it's very hard to start it up. And here, notice that what we have. We want 2 demons. One of the guaranteed demons I'd like to have is going to be Doombringer. After that, I want Anti-Mage to disable enemies and also do tons of damage. Any legendaries that is a good solo fighter. This includes Sven, this includes Queen of Pain for the disable, and also Templar Assassin for her constant damage. Other than that, Chen is also really good. A 2-star Chen can revive your units that dies into stronger 2-star units. A 3-star Chen can revive into 3-star units. Broodmother and also Monkey King is great. Broodmother can debuff enemies and also summon more spiders, while the Monkey King can stun a lot. But because of that, I also want units that can provide different synergies. Over here, any tier 5 legendary unit is also good, but it's harder to find them into higher ranking, into 2 stars. So you can see, I found my Chen, get my Chen down, bring back the Zeus. Zeus is also great. A bit of burst damage, he also deals massive HP damage to the enemy. And sometimes you got to keep that in mind. If you kill enemies fast enough, they don't come into power later on. And yes, I could have kept my my primal beast. But having primal beast down means I will have 3 warriors. So what we want to do is we want to have no synergies other than the void synergy that is activated. So just the Faceless Void, every other synergy must be disabled. This means you can't have 3 assassins, can't have 3 warriors, and also can't have only 1 demon. You have to have 2 different demons. You also can't have the demon hunter synergy, of course. So no other synergies is activated, and this activates the void synergy. What does the void synergy do? It's very straightforward. You can't be debuffed, you can't be disabled, you're just immune to all the debuffs and also disables. It is very powerful in the late game, especially with higher tier units. And I'll be giving my units armor, resistance, everything that's good that protects them from dying. And you can see we start to stabilize with tons of tangles. Now during this time, I have decided to not go with Broodmother. Traditionally, Void build like to go with Broodmother and also Medusa. But over here, because I have been very stable, I decided opting to go with higher tier legendary units. And of course, rolling the economy lower a little bit will help me stabilize by finding the 2-star units. So you can see, we're keeping all the purple units, we're keeping all the legendaries that can solo fight. I'm also checking what are the other available legendary units. Now during this time, if you have Doombringer, it is also great to go with any demons to disable the Doom, but Sven is not bad, but having Queen of Pain is better. You can see later on if we do see Queen of Pain. The crucial piece that makes the Void build work is going to be Doombringer, together with any demon, Anti-Mage, Chen, Broodmother, and also Medusa plus Monkey King. But you can take and swap to build even stronger units with legendaries of course, which you get to see the choices. And of course, having immunity to debuff is going to be amazing. Let's have a look at the fights. You can see Zeus is not doing that much damage. Anti-Mage actually deals the highest damage. Look at that. And that's a 1-star Anti-Mage. You can see that majority of the fights were pretty stable, and my Chen even revived the unit. So once we stabilize, I'll be giving the best items to my strongest 2-star unit. This can be the Doombringer, this can be the Monkey King, or even a 2-star Templar Assassin or Sven is also great. I want units that can solo carry the fight. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit, round 24, we're gonna economize a little bit. So here we can see the disable from Stampede, the debuff from the Beast, Savages, we're immune to that. They can't debuff us, notice once the debuff, it's gone. So we're still susceptible to magical damage, but we can't be debuffed by mages. The only build that could counter us are going to be warriors and also assassins, and maybe goblins with the right pure damage, because they build into armor and also burst damage. We can also see what is available. We can see assassin, a bit of the randomness. 6 savages, I counted them perfectly. Hunters, maybe a bit of counter. And you can see warlocks, not too worried. And also aqua, I'm not too worried because I can't be stunned. Now during this time, it's okay to keep rolling, and I recommend rolling for a purple item if you can. And any purple item here, I can go with Battle Fury or Radiance. I decided to be a little greedy with Battle Fury Doom, even though it's a little gimmicking because we already do so much damage. I should have went for Radiance, but that is okay. We actually deal pretty hefty damage. Once you see the available of legendaries that is available, you can start to decide which other better upgrade you wanted. So I'm currently using Chen, but having Warlock means I can sell my Chen to get the 2-star Warlock, and I will only swap this one once I get the Warlock. I could go with 3-star or 2-star Techies, I can go with Queen of Pain and also Templar Assassin, but remember, if I go with Queen of Pain and Templar Assassin, the build breaks. I can only pick one more Assassin, because Faceless Void is also one Assassin. Now, preferably, I will go with Queen of Pain for the disable, but Templar Assassin is also great for survivability, so it's a harder choice. Whichever one comes first for me, I won't pick the other one, I guess. Now, once you get all the units going, look at my entire board. It's made of purple units and also legendaries, and this is gonna be the set theme of the game. I also picked the Lincoln Spear. Not a big deal, to be honest, because I actually forgot I'm immune to the debuffs. So Lincoln Spear, well, it will protect me from the Doom, but the Rex, Stuns, and also Disables were immune to that. So you probably don't have to pick the Lincoln Spear. Pick something else that gives you armor, or maybe resistance will be great. In terms of positioning, nothing too fancy. You want Monkey King on the side, and here you can see that Templar Assassin actually lost to the Assassins. And this was my first loss after many round. This is actually quite concerning, because I know there will be a strong assassin, 9 assassins to be exact, that can counter me. I'm just hoping that I get strong enough to defeat the assassins. to the point I even went up a level and also prepared to be even stronger. So let's have a look over here, get my Doom done. I like the Dooms because dooming enemies means there's a lot of good things. They can't heal and also they are susceptible to everything. It also stops them from casting spells. I'll give my best items to Sven and let's see what happens. And yes, one of the reasons we have such a great start allows this build to work. If you don't have such a great start, you might be a little lower in terms of leveling, it can be a little lower in terms of economy. So please do keep in mind how I started the build. And that was the Hunters. And they don't have standard chance, simply because I'm immune to most debuffs, and most build requires debuffs. They want to stun you, they want to debuff you, they want to stall you, they want to silence you. We're immune to that, and also Chen also revives tons of units, which is very, very powerful. And lots of code for killing players. So, we're gonna face the Hunters. Not a big deal with Hunters, because I can see that he ruined his economy. He couldn't find the 3 stars. We're gonna face the Savages. I'm a perfect counter. We're gonna face the Ox, which is annoying because they took my Doom. We're likely gonna face one of the Assassins. There's a 3-star rolling assassin, there's a 9 assassin that is on the way. So those are the enemies. Just looking around to see what other players are playing. And let's have a look at assassins. So this is a 2-star Sven. It's gonna go to work. He 2 shots pretty much everything. Look at that. Looking pretty good, right? So this build has insane scaling potential, simply because we're rolling for purple units, legendaries, and we're picking the best of the best. So we're gonna look around to see how the players are faring, and the Aqua player did not play correctly. I had a look, it did not do the best method. And as I get my units to 2-star, I have already stabilized enough for this build to be top 2. If I get my units to 3-star, it is insanely powerful. So notice what I'm doing here. I'm constantly putting my units on the board to test if they break the synergy. Putting Medusa on the board, it doesn't break any synergies. If I put the Warlock on the board, notice now I have 2 Orcs. You gotta test it before you get the new units done. As if that breaks the synergy, your whole build will be ruined. And once you're susceptible to debuffs, your units will die in a blink of an eye, which is actually very scary. I took down the items just to prepare for the neutral round. Let's have a look. Neutral round, nothing too fancy, and yes, I go with Weaponsmith and I'll be crafting some purple items. Now, I do recommend going for purple items simply because that gives you the best scaling and it's also cheaper than legendaries. Sometimes you might even find the wrong legendaries, but most purple items are great. And Gyrocopter. I actually decided to not go with Gyro because I can't fit the Gyro. I prefer the Zeus over Gyro because I will do so much other physical damage. I want a bit of magical damage if I can. And I position my units for the Medusa to be in the middle so that we can potentially protect her for assassins. But not a big deal. Right now, I'm not too worried. So, rolling for purple items. And here, we can go with Giant's Ring, which would definitely help one single unit. Or we can go for the Guardian Graves. I decided to go with the Giant's Ring, so we have a Mega Sven. Assassins. Let's have a look what happens. Sven becomes Mega Sven. Important to have boots, by the way. If Sven does not have boots, he'll be too slow. And notice whatever stuns they throw at us, we're immune. And whatever damage they come at us, we're pretty tanky. So there you go. That was 6 assassins, I believe. And Sven's 2-shotting them. A bit slower on attack speed though, I reckon. Oh, look at the Zeus. Hits for 22 health. And I've been lifestealing because of this. So that's one of the reasons I have Zeus. So around this time, I actually decided to not go with more Chen. I can go with a 3-star Chen, but Chen is not great against assassins. It's great with long and also drawn-out fight. But against assassins, things dies too quickly for you to make use of Chen. So I actually want a 2-star Warlock. Fast forwarding a little bit, this is all 3-star assassins, and let's look at the Sven going to work. I think the Battle Fury is a little wasted, to be honest. He already cleaved so much. And even though he died, the rest of the team will follow up. Will they? Ah, there you go. Chen did some work. Revive the Zeus. So all the stuns they cast at me, I'm immune to that, which is very good. Now over here, we have assassins, more assassins. Look at the Sven going to work. Wow, it's lovely to see the Sven clip, but Sven does fall off in the ultra late game if you don't get him to 3-star, and it's very hard to get him to 3-star. But even at this stage, you can see we're already top 4, and we're very stable. I'm just looking around to see what I'm defeating. Now, you might not have noticed that I have been slowly leveling to level 10 and then building my economy. One of the reasons I've been doing this is that it is much more important to wait for around 35 then start rolling for your units, because this will give you chance of more IO. If you really wanted 3-star units, this is the best way to do it. You do not want to do this too early if you have the gold and also health to afford this. And that's a Savage player. He is very powerful. I want to share you guys with the Savage build. The only thing that counters Savages is the Void, because we can't be debuffed, we can't be stunned. It's very sad for Savage players to face a Void player, but that is the perfect counter. So I'm gonna pick the IO, and now we're gonna start rolling. It is so much different once you find it. And here I wanted the 2-star Warlock. What I did forget is, yes, I sold the Chen in preparation. I took the Queen of Pain, but the problem is I have too many good units. I decided to put down the IO, and it could have fused into a 2-star Warlock, 2-star Templar Assassin, or 2-star something else. It's just too overwhelming, so I definitely mismanaged my economy over here. And I can't put down Queen of Pain, remember? If I put down Queen of the Pain, the Templar Assassin plus Void will give me a synergy. So I actually messed up a little bit. It's okay, it's a neutral run. So I only start to roll after round 35 because I have the health and also economy. If you're about to die, don't wait for 35 because it's too long. Killing the dragon. Oh, the Bullwhip is very good for the Warlock, together with Refresher. So I want Warlock for stunning. The stunning is essential, and right now what I'm really looking for is to get some IOs, get my 2-star going, and even took back the Templar. The Gamma IOs, get the things going, get the Bullwhip, get the Refresher, and here we even have an Doom. Very powerful. I'm happy to go down my economy a little bit, but I think I should stabilize. So if you really get to that ultra late game stage in level round 35, you're looking for all the 3-star purple units and potentially 3-star legendaries, which is actually very powerful. Now, having a look, let's see what the enemies are playing. Oh, that's a scary Templar Assassin. Oh no, there's a not a Templar Assassin. That's a Phantom Assassin. And he 2-shot my Warlock before I casted anything. And this does not look good. This does not look too good. So we killed the last player that could help us tank some damage. So right now we're on our own. And we're facing a very powerful assassin. He has so much health, and his assassins are definitely eating through me. So what is our best strategy? Well, finding additional units will help, and repositioning units will definitely help. So let's have a look. I want the Sven to tank up a little bit. I kind of also want some purple items, so a bit of slow controlling. I haven't decided exactly what to do. I want to readjust my team a little bit so that the Warlock is protected, but you might have guessed, the other player is very much on point. I'm trying to adjust a little bit, but once I had a look, he is perfectly positioned to counter me. And it's not great. See, Templar would jump onto the Warlock because I did not position correctly. Oh no, I actually did jump on the Warlock, but just be careful with the positioning. The Warlock did not get a second cast. Actually, he did, right? The focus here is try to defeat the assassins, but little do I know, the assassins, they are surprisingly broken. So let's have a look what units he has, and then we can see why he's like so powerful. So, 2-star Templar is 2-star Phantom Assassin is already stalling my whole team. Now I mentioned earlier, one of the downside of this build is to be countered by warriors and also assassins, because they don't debuff me as much, but rather they just do pure damage or pure defensiveness, and that can be very scary. So let's craft items a little bit. I want my Warlock to cast instantly, and also I want more purple items. Lincoln Spear is not really helping us over here. So here I kind of want my whole team to survive, so I think I might go with Guardian Graves for the bonus life and a bit of mana. Now, remember last round, I changed my position to counter assassins. It worked, but let's have a look at this round. So in the late game, it's all about positioning. I think it's great to demonstrate. Look at his Templar, the Phantom Assassin position. This is a 3-star Phantom Assassin position right in front of Warlock. It's a terrible position by me, perfect position by him. There goes my Warlock with my Refresher. It was not good. But the saving grace is I have debuff immunity. The downside is they don't really care about debuff. They do so much pure critical damage and so much burst damage that my debuff immunity is not going to cut it. So what is the best plan of strategy is to actually wait for round 40. I decided to not waste my gold, and also I wanted to wait for round 40. I also readjust my position a little bit so that my squishy units are in the center. And here we got the only knight to counter my burst damage. I tried to switch the side, not a big deal. Sometimes you want to dodge the Ricky Cloud, but he actually predicted how I'm going to swap and he clouded me perfectly. Now with the Ricky Cloud, we're actually not really too bad with the whole debuff, but this will give us silence and also this will give us the misses, which was not great. Now, just to update you guys, he actually have a 3-star Creon Pay and a 3-star Templar Assassin, a Phantom Assassin. 2-star Templar though. Now, one thing you might have noticed, I have not used my tango too fast. I wanted to save the tangos as long as I can because this means when the time comes, likely will come to round 45. If it comes to that, I can pop my tangos whenever needed. If I use the tango too early, once your HP gets halved by the game mechanics, it's a waste of health. But if I wait long enough, just before I die, I pop the right amount of tangos before I lose HP. This is the best way to use the tangos in the ultra late game. Gonna fast forward the chores, nothing too special. Here we just go with a Veld for a bit of more economy. And I can't really level up, so keep that in mind. I'm not leveling up, I want to roll for 3 stars. Because I know right now the only thing that keeps me alive is the potential 3 stars. And I decided not go with legendaries, they're just too hard to find. So I want to see if I can find more Doom. I got a 3-star Doom. And then I want to find a Medusa, I want to find an Anti-Mage. I want to find a Monkey King. I can't find any of those. Got a Monkey King, and let's fuse him. Out of time, right? I got a Sven too. So we got a double Medusa. We got a 3-star Doom. We got a 3-star Anti-Mage. And I actually decided to keep the Spider Legs. It will not give you a synergy if you don't have Broodmother. Be careful, if you have Broodmother, you'll have a synergy and break your build. I just wanted to dodge. So, having my 3-star units does not seem enough, right? So, what is wrong? Right now, I need more 3 stars if I can find it. Oh, and also, right before I died, I popped the Tango. So, very important to pop the Tango a little early. I was too intensively watching the fight and getting my economy going, I actually forgot to pop the Tango. This is why you drag the Tango down to the bottom, and once it becomes ready to use Tango, you don't have to eat a tree. So I can click it instantly. Right before I died, I ate the Tango before the projectile hits me. So you see, I got a +7, then -10. I would have died for sure. Popping my Tango, getting the life up, and you'll see very soon why it's important to, not waste too much life. Oh, I did not find my last Monkey King. I'm looking for the IOs as well. So let's try to reposition a little bit and let's get the right items onto the 3-star unit. I think that will help a lot. And lastly, the Tranquil Boots is not going to help us much. Now, I do like to give boots to melee units. Giving boots to melee units allows them to have better mobility, and this will give them much more damage because they're actually not stuck around. Let's have a look at this new adjustment, and let's see how we fare. And I'm ready to pop more Tangos. I have 3 Tangos left. Again, his Stealth Assassin catches me, but this time, my Medusa goes to work with a 3-star Medusa that storms them, and the Warlock has refreshed. Perfect, right? And also a 3-star Doom is the super tank. Finally defeated him. It was sitting on like what, over 80 HP. So finally, we're looking for the Monkey King. We found the Monkey King. And now the scary part is, which unit do I put down that will not ruin my synergy? You gotta be careful. If I put down the wrong unit, this will ruin my entire team. So Templar Assassin is a safe bet. So what I want to do now is, I saw previously the positioning actually worked. I just need to change the positioning on the last second to flip the board using the hotkeys or the easy accessibilities over here to flip the board so that my units are no longer getting clouded. And he's still clouded me, he's too good. But the good thing is, you can see my Warlock refreshers, get the Golem down, stuns them a bit, Monkey King stuns, Medusa stuns, and there's so much disable at this stage, and I have so many 3 stars to take him down, hopefully. But he's still going rampages. So right now is the battle of itemization and also positioning. Let's see what we can do. I can't use the Chen. I put the Chen down, I know I have Orc synergy, but I decide to go with Gyro. One more Gyro, that's not bad. Can't find the last one. Nope. So put down the Gyro. So now I want to position correctly. So I want to see what he's doing. I realize my Medusa is actually the centerpiece. So I want Medusa to be a little more protected and the Gyro to be a little protected. Nothing too fancy, but you can see the squishy units are not in direct contact with the assassins. When they jump, they will jump to the melee units first. And the melee units are at the back to tank up. I also want to check the radius of items. So it's very important to position correctly against assassins. Medusa here is going to be the centerpiece. He expects me to swap the board, but I didn't. And Medusa stoned everyone. A 3-star Medusa gains a lot of mana, so she can stone very fast. Together with the constant stun of a 3-star Monkey King, we're actually stabilizing. Look at that. Round 45, nothing too fancy. We have no problems with most of the big monsters, because we have so many 3 stars and we have so many good debuffs. Dragonlance is also great on the Medusa, together with more Refresher. Refresher is always good, because it helps you to gain mana fast. Not only you can cast more spells, you also gain mana fast to cast your spells. So let's look at the positioning first. I want to swap on the last second so he doesn't get the timing to adjust to me. Sometimes he will purposely force it onto me to get the cloud right. What I want to do is to position Medusa correctly to get the stones off. But he's too good. He usually catches me when I change the board. He still catches me, but not a big deal, because we're also immune to most of the debuffs. Now, what has changed in the previous fights compared to this fight is that we have gotten more 3 stars. Our Medusa is a 3-star that can consistently stone enemies, and that makes a big difference. On his side, he also found a lot of powerful items, and if his Templar and also his Queen of Pain can survive, it can get to us. I actually thought of one, and his Templar Assassin soloed us. Just to be a little stronger, let's get the 2-star Gyro for a little bit of bonus physical damage. And I realized my Medusa is actually something that is changing the fights. To the point I don't need the burst damage from the Druid, I also wanted the Medusa to be stoning them as quickly as I can. So I give the Refresher to the Medusa. Of course, we're checking the board to see if new units can be added. Similar to before, we'll change my positioning again, try to avoid the Stealth Assassin. But this time I'll do it twice, just in case. If he copies me and he flips twice and he doesn't flip fast enough, I can avoid the Stealth Assassin. He still got me. But notice Medusa gains mana super fast, and then she refreshes. The few seconds to stone enemies is what gives me a better chance of surviving. Now, should I lose around this time, I can use my Tango, which is probably needed. So 2 health, I use the Tango, 8 health. So I'm still watching on his side, he still won, but notice the efficient use of Tango. And you might be wondering what happened to his health, because after round 45, every round, your health gets halved. So look at my health, gets halved to 3, his health gets halved to 2. So I'm saving my Tangos for emergencies. This means my health doesn't get halved, I can gain 1 to 7 health instantly. And this can make or break the game. Imagine if I didn't have the Tango, I would have died with 2 health against the Templar Assassin. Let's try to reposition a little bit. I realize how important the Medusa is. So much importance that I actually want to position her correctly. I also realized that I don't want to put units on the first line because assassins would jump to them directly and kill them. So most units are on the second line and then the melee units are in the back line. So it's like a reverse positioning. Let's have a look at the fights. Medusa, with Dragon Lance and also with the Refresher, gains mana almost instantly. Look at the shots. She shoots once, she gets full mana, she's gonna cast ultimate. Very, very important. And there's so much disable, so many golems, and monkey king stuns. So in the ultra late game, positioning is what matters. And the disables, yes, tons of disable for days. We got him, but he had an Aegis. The Aegis is gotten from the mango tree if you do it perfectly. Now he's a very good player. We've been lasting to all the way to round 49. And I still have 2 mangoes. Keep in mind, he has to beat me twice with his units to take me down. Because each time I lose, I can pop some mangoes, regain few health, and he can't beat me with a lot of damage. So I'm pretty settled. The bigger question is, how am I going to position? I can see that he's been swapping around, getting the Sankins around. So he wants to catch me directly on my front end. And I'm planning to swap. I've been swapping a lot, and this time it should work. Let's have a look. Perfectly, so notice I avoided his entire lineup. And here we have a free space. Medusa shoots once, she gains all her mana, she casts her ultimate, and that stabilizes the fight. Because his entire team is facing the Medusa side. And this allows us to stone them and then finish them off. Let's have a look over here. We got him. And just to show you guys over here, I popped my Tangles back to 11 health. So the uses of Tangles, positioning, itemization, and also how to counter your enemy is essential in the late game. Now, just to show you guys how epic the battle was, let's have a look at the actual units. So we have 3-star Anti-Mage, 3-star Monkey King, 3-star Medusa, 3-star Doom, and all the legendaries are 2 stars. We're facing a 3-star Queen of Pain, 3-star Templar, and most units are 2 stars. The reason they're not 3 stars is because he was contested by another assassin. But because of this, we managed to pull out one of the most epic games in the ultra late game to showcase how powerful this build can be for the mid game and also late game scaling. Now, do keep in mind guys, it is essential to have great economy to go to level 9 then start rolling. It is also great to have the right relics and also build into economy and also itemization. You also want to check you're not breaking your synergies whenever you play. What I do now is I'll provide you guys a full replay of this particular build. I wouldn't say this is the easiest build to build, and this is a very rewarding build that counters most of the team. It is immune to mind control, it is immune to savages, it is immune to stuns, disables, assassins, silence. It is great. But the downside is to pull the build off, notice by round 21, I don't even have the right team. And this is scary, right? I only managed to get the team going at round 22. So we'll take some practice, and you really practice on economizing and also building correctly after round 21 is the way to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. In the future, I'll also share you guys some of the best builds, the unique ones, and also the standard ones like 9 assassins and also 9 hunters to come. So make sure you subscribe for the latest
Eyes up and shields front! Eyes up and shields front! is always ready for a fight.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
Master,
Enchanted.
the dusk is always ready for a fight. The dusk is always ready for a fight. Guess we better. Time to
The Honorable Dante Panlan, at your service.
I ride with the light.
The Veiled Sisters sent me.
Eyes up and shields front.
Ballora, the Dawnbreaker!
The Veiled Sisters sent me.
an end to magic.
Damnation rises. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. people join me.